All right, Pete.
What's up?
We're back in our new room.
Yes.
We totally fucking failed. First time. We did a whole episode, and then I went home.
Did you throw that in the trash bin?
So not yet. I'm going to keep it for prosperity's sake. We like to document our screw-ups.
Sure,
We're really
we
good at
tried.
screwing up.
Yeah.
So we did the whole thing. We were really proud of it.
Yeah.
We should have known because we literally had
No way.
I wish your brother could have been here to see it. Who helps us with all of our setup? Who's here right now, but nobody can see him in the background. We had 2 cameras set up literally right here,
in front of our face,
like right in front of us.
Yeah.
And they were pointing almost at each other.
They were like right in the intersection was like.
There was zero chance
right
that
angle.
those 2 cameras were not actually looking at each other. Somehow we thought that was going to work. So I went home. I looked at the recording.
Yeah.
And the first thing I could see was one camera, and then I saw the back of the other camera right in front of your face.
We sat here for 2 hours too.
And I was like, wow, that is useless. So that whole episode is gone. We will redo that episode sometime in the future.
I thought it was a good one.
Not today though.
Yeah.
Because I wanted all of our ideas to refresh.
Yeah.
To have a whole brand new conversation.
Okay.
So I put it sort of to the end of the list. Otherwise it would have felt like we were just sort of trying to remember what we said last time.
Yeah.
So I trashed that one. For now.
That's good. But I would say this hopefully is the first episode that looks tremendous. That actually has nice lighting,
right.
the nice background.
Right. Or we're firing our guy.
Or it's over, right?
We're firing the guy. So this is
Scrap the room.
So we got a 3-camera setup.
Yeah.
We got our 2 mics. We got nice lighting. Beautiful brand new space that people can now hopefully see because we have the 3rd wide camera looking
The
at.
idea is for this to be our permanent solution to the podcast for going forward.
Correct.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then we can just quit. But anyway, on to the show.
Dumpster fire.
All right. I heard something the other day, and I thought this would be the perfect Christmas present for Peter.
Ooh, I love Christmas presents.
Yeah. So in a couple of months, I will gift this to you.
Okay.
I heard, and I want your honest reaction to this, that McDonald's is starting or considering starting. No, I want to be able to move. Don't block my chair. Don't block my chair. Get out of here. I want to wiggle. People are going to have to set my wiggle.
It's like a pacifier.
Leave my wiggle alone. I'm going to sit.
You also have a nice A-frame with your legs.
Yeah, just be quiet. You just worry about
your legs are too long.
Your neck muscles are swallowing the microphone. So
well, at least...
I don't want to hear about my wiggle. You're just worried about you over there. Yeah, whatever. All right, fine. I'll try to sit still.
All
right. If my wiggle bothers people, they can send a message into the show.
That's fine.
And let people
well, if your wiggle bothers people, maybe they should go watch something else.
Yeah, go watch something else. Leave me alone. All right, I'm going to wiggle. That's just what I do.
Right.
Anyway, I heard that McDonald's, in some markets, is test trialing a subscription service where you literally pay a monthly fee.
Of course.
And you more or less get all you can. I think is limited to some value. I don't know exactly the details. I didn't go too much into the weeds in this. But I heard this and I was thinking
of course they did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
where have we gone with this subscription?
It's called wallet share. They're trying to capture monthly revenue guaranteed, just like every goddamn other company
so
in the
you
world.
figure they must have done a lot of research and they figured out that enough people sign up for it, they make whatever X number of billions of dollars, and the likelihood that they actually give away that much food, obviously they wouldn't do it if they were going to lose money.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So I was going to buy you that for Christmas. Would you like that?
That would be just free money from McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're hoping for.
It's almost like I wonder if that's like the Planet Fitness model where they're hoping that the value is so tremendous that many more people will sign up for it than they would actually use it on a regular basis.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it can't. Otherwise, it's
because it'll be a buffet, right? You always have that group of people that overconsume.
Yeah.
But then most people they don't eat enough, right?
So then it's okay, well, I give the business credit, right? They're trying to capitalize on the subscription. Everyone's doing a subscription. I have trouble with that word. Subscription. Yes. Everyone's trying to do that, right? You have all the streaming services, all that stuff. And so now it's entering the world of food, and I'm not sure if this is great for
horrible for
the American society.
Of course it is.
Because the mindset around that a little bit is if you have it, you might be more inclined to then go use it.
I've already spent my money. I better go eat McDonald's as much as I can.
Right.
So now, this is where you're getting your nutrition.
I almost feel like the government should step in. Just be like, we can't do this.
Yeah, the government should step in and food.
We already have a problem in this country in particular with health and wellness and obesity and all these things. I'm not sure if we should allow fast food chains to get people on a subscription model.
We shouldn't allow the amount of poison in the general population that we eat anyways. But I mean, the problem is, and I'm not conspiratorial at all, but the problem is just it's a system that's too large that if you were to upend it, I don't know how it would work successfully and not be poisoning everybody.
Right.
I don't know how you would feed everybody real food and not have the system blow up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I don't know. But I looked. Then that got me thinking. I was like, well, no wonder who else is doing this. So I did a quick little AI search to see
From fast food companies.
fast
you mean?
food.
Oh.
So the one I know about pretty well is Panera. Panera does the Sip Club,
you've
so
been
that's
involved
drink.
with that,
So we actually, I remember. So this is like, this is me like shitting on one thing, but I actually do the other.
Yeah.
But we do the Panera one. It's drinks.
It's coffee.
So my wife uses it. She's on the road all
Like
day
diet
for her
soda.
job, and so she's getting usually coffee and seltzer water.
Yeah.
Like that's the things. And so economically, it makes sense for us because we only pay a few dollars a month or whatever.
And your wife's on the road because what? She's like a traveling therapist.
She's a traveling therapist, yeah. So she's on the road, so she uses Panera to get a drink, go to the bathroom, and sit and do her paperwork.
Makes sense.
But there's no food attached to it. They try to get you to buy food. Like when you go to get the drink, that's the whole point.
It's like they're getting somebody in there and you hope that they'll buy more, right?
Yeah, it's a loss leader.
So I bet you it's a very like low cost product.
Yes.
They lose money on it unless you.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So they want you in the store though. You smell the food, you buy the food. Yeah. So that's one. I saw that. I think Taco Bell had tried one or is going to try one. So of course you imagine if one is successful,
they're all going to replicate it, and they're all going to be fighting for your subscription dollar.
So if you had to pick like one, if you could have a subscription.
If I had to, you mean?
Yeah, if you had to.
Handcuffed and.
So any fast food type place. Let's just go fast food, not restaurant, because you'll pick something stupid like
health food.
Yeah, wherever I get the most vegetables.
Whole Foods.
If you, I want one just to the produce aisle.
Let's go. Oh, that's a good idea.
If you could pick any of the major fast food chains, you can expand this out. If you could have, say, it's $50 a month and you get to eat all you can eat, which of them would you pick?
I have to? What am I basing this criteria on? Taste?
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
It's got to be fast food.
Oh God! So the ones I think are the big ones are like Wendy's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Burger King.
Well, you're kind of in, Well,
and those are my big four.
But
what else are there?
No, there's like Chipotle. There's Five Guys. Domino's. There's a million fast food. There's all kinds of food. You just think about.
Probably Moe's.
No, Moe's.
Because I think that
kind of like a fancier Chipotle.
Yeah. I think that you can, if you were health conscious, or if you didn't want to just like be pounding like French fries and hamburgers,
right.
You could probably get, because I think they have like real vegetables and meat that they cook that day.
Yeah, you get like chicken and vegetables.
Yeah, and so you don't have to get all the calories. So there's probably ways to go about that. So I'd say Moe's.
I think the answer I should give is probably like Chipotle or Moe's, right? Yeah. The answer I really want to give would be like Domino's.
Domino's.
Oh, I could house pizza.
When was the last time you had a Domino's pizza though?
Well, so not in a long time.
You cook pizza.
But again, I'm gonna have to pick a chain. In this scenario, I'm picking a chain.
You love pizza.
Yeah, so I love pizza.
It's essentially just bread with sauce and
the way I look at it, it hits all your food groups.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I mean, school says it does.
I say it does.
You have it's literally sanctioned by the government where it's like a complete food group.
You have carbohydrates as your crust.
Yeah.
Your sauce is your vegetable. Tomato. Last time I checked, tomatoes are a vegetable.
Sure.
Cheese is your like milk and dairy.
Tomatoes are fruit, but yeah.
Well, whatever. Fruits and vegetables. The cheese is your dairy. Yeah. And then you throw some roni on there. And you got your protein, and then boom, done. What else do I need for my?
It's the classic American bullshit.
Yeah, it's great.
Food group.
As far as I'm concerned, it's the healthiest food you could eat.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would probably go with Domino's because, unless there's another chain, maybe Papa John's or just any fast.
You're talking about pizza.
Pizza, fast food pizza.
I mean, Domino's does taste pretty good.
Yeah.
So every once in a rare while, my kids got one last month.
And did you eat it?
It was the first slice.
Wow.
It was the first time.
Do you have a real slice, or did you cut it into like thirds?
I mean, I cut the slice into thirds, and then I ate 3 of those slices.
Domino's slices aren't even that big.
I know, but there's 8.
What's wrong with you?
And there's a family of 4.
So get more than one pizza.
No, why would you do that? That's too much.
They're not even big. Domino's pizzas are small.
I'm aware, but then you have like some fruits and vegetables in the drawer for like.
Way to ruin pizza night. You're such an asshole. Like, way to ruin pizza night. It's supposed to be fun. Like, at least order maybe some breadsticks or something to go.
I'm trying to. No, that wouldn't make any sense. That's unnecessary.
All right.
Have a few tasty bites and you're done.
Let's move on to the show. Anyway. General thoughts.
I will not be getting a subscription model. I would highly advise everybody to not get a subscription model to fast food if they care at all about their health and wellness. If you don't,
enjoy.
I guess whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Today's show.
Yes.
I want to talk about alcohol and weight loss.
Oh boy.
So a friend of mine asked us to talk about this, and I actually get it a lot from our clients. Right? You hear a lot like, well, I'm exercising like most of the week. I eat pretty well most of the week. Yeah. the thing that gets me or whatever is I like to like have some alcohol like either every night or on the weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't think people fully understand the repercussions of what alcohol does to your not just from a caloric perspective. We can talk about that. Yeah. But also just how your body metabolizes alcohol and how it prioritizes alcohol versus other things. Also, its effect on sleep, its effect on there's a lot of things that alcohol has an effect on, and how it could impact your ability to manage or maintain or even lose weight if that's if that's your goal, or gain muscle, be healthy.
Yeah.
So I think people minimize this a little bit, and today it feels to me like a lot of people drink alcohol on a pretty regular basis.
Especially people of our generation.
Yeah.
The younger ones, right?
They're
Kids
like
in their 20s are against it.
Yeah.
But what is it, like if you're like 30 through like 60?
Yeah, I think it's pretty
probably
normal.
like a normal part of your social life.
Right. And I think people are sabotaging themselves without fully realizing that they're actually doing that.
Yeah, nobody wants to really sabotage.
Right.
If you're doing all this work, like if you're eating better, you're cleaning up, you're trying to get sleep, you're focusing, you're getting exercise, and you're spending time and money on all of these things, you're hoping that that's gonna do the trick for you.
Right.
And you're like, but I just want to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
I just want to take the edge off at the end of the night.
I get it.
Totally get it.
And it's not all bad, right? But I think people should also, and I also think the one thing that people often do, they sort of play these little games with themselves, is, okay, well, instead of having the IPA, I'm just going to have a vodka.
Oh, they definitely play games. I'm going to have the Skinny Girl Martini.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, stuff like that. And they think that they're, because they're making that switch, that they're not going to have an effect. And maybe you lose a few of the calories, but all of the other things that happens when you drink alcohol are still happening, even if you get the Skinny Girl Martini, right? Is that actually a drink? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Would you ever order that?
It's
I would love for you to walk into
if
a
I'm
bar.
if I'm gonna have alcohol, so maybe start with like, just to be clear, a shot 40%, so 90 proof like liquor, is the same calorically as a serving of wine, as a serving of beer.
Like what kind of beer? You're talking like a Miller
Just
Lite
like
kind of situation?
No, like a regular.
Like an IPA is like 400 calories.
Yeah. So I guess I'm comparing it to like a regular like Budweiser.
Yeah, but
just something that's like 5% alcohol.
So say that again.
So a shot of 40 proof. Is the same calorically as a serving of wine. Yeah. So what is that, 4 to 5 ounces? I think it might be like 5 ounces.
Something like that. Yeah.
Is the same as like a 12-ounce beer.
12-ounce beer, okay.
Those are the same things.
So you're
clear.
You're not really saving a ton of calories.
You're not saving anything calorically. Yeah. But so regardless of that, but that's the reason why they will go like, oh, I'll have like vodka and soda because they think that's the better version, or I'll have like tequila because that's the better version. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And then secondly, calories is the least of your concerns when it comes to the health implications of alcohol. Who gives a shit?
And what if I get like a Diet Coke?
With what?
A vodka and Diet Coke.
Yeah, who cares? It's the same thing.
Because I hear people do that all the time.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Like they're really cutting the calories at that point.
Who cares about
not even getting a real Coke?
Who cares about dozens of calories in relation to your serving of alcohol compared to all of the other ramifications that alcohol has on your body, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of where we should go next, right? So let's take calories aside.
Yeah,
right.
Calories get thrown out the window. It's the same as the scale. Ignore the scale, ignore the calories. Let's talk about the other effects.
Yeah, or before we do that, let's do the calorie thing real quick. If you're somebody who on a regular basis has multiple drinks a night, right? Let's say it's a beer. You're going to have 3 or 4 beers every single night, or a few times a week, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
3 or 4 times a week.
Right. So how many calories roughly would that? Do you have any?
Super normal.
Yeah.
I think if we're talking, I think it's like around 150 calories is like a normal serving of alcohol. Yeah. Right. And then if that's the case, so then now you're talking about like 450, right, or something like that. So let's just say 500 on average. Yeah. That you consume in alcohol like 3 or 4 times a week.
Right. So if I wanted to, let's just thinking of calories alone, if I got rid of that, just that, I would probably, I'd probably start to lose a little bit of weight. So that's a simple change.
So you would instantly start to lose weight because, initially what would happen is you would lose like bloat and water weight. Yeah. So you would
a lot of that. I don't even drink a lot of alcohol.
So this is classic.
Mine comes from bread.
Yes,
which is
why when you stop bread, you just shed the water weight.
Yeah.
So classically for guys, as soon as they stop drinking, they'll lose like 10 pounds, especially if it's regular, because they're going to shed a lot of that bloat. Right. You'll see it in their face and bodies. Women's less because they don't carry as much muscle. Yeah. But either way, you initially lose that weight in the first week. And then, so that's outside of calories. It has nothing to do with calories. It has to do with water retention, just to be clear. Okay. Yeah. You didn't lose 10 pounds of body fat. Yeah. And then after that, then now if you're not replacing the beer with food, and usually you're not, because usually food, additional food and snacking comes with the alcohol, typically, right?
Right.
So if you're doing that, then now maybe you're eliminating the alcohol plus like the occasional snacking that would come with it.
Right.
I mean, you're honestly probably saving yourself, conservatively, another like a pound of potential weight loss or gain a week.
Right.
Is
So substantial.
Is it massive? Is
Right,
it
so
for like a 260-pound guy, that makes a huge dent.
Right. And so, so I get the idea that for some people it's hard, it's easier said than done, right? Like that
so much easier said than done.
So I get it, but if you're looking at just the very superficially kind of just calorically speaking, if you're trying to lose weight and that what we just described sounds like you, then this is a great place to start, even if you do half of that. If you go from 4 beers to 2 beers,
just looking at it from a calorie perspective, fine.
Right. Okay, so then let's go into the other things. Like, so what other ways? I think one thing, I don't know if you know a lot about this. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm
not an expert on alcohol.
Maybe I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
But my understanding is that the body will often choose to metabolize alcohol like first, if you put it in there, which then affects
its first pass. That's because it's how it's digested. It goes directly to the liver.
Right, and so then this has an effect on how your body then is processing other things, and therefore getting in the way of it potentially when you're trying to lose weight, because it's spending so much energy or whatever on metabolizing the alcohol. Does it have an effect on its ability to then? I don't know. Like,
that's okay.
I'm probably explaining that really poorly.
That's okay. So what happens is the alcohol gets metabolized by the liver as soon as it gets into the bloodstream, because all our blood, goes through our liver, through the portal vein. It gets metabolized, gets broken down by the liver, and that the calories in alcohol is the same as calories in fat, which means it's very high, right? So like a shot of alcohol, 40 proof, is like very high because of how dense in calories it is. So as soon as it starts to get metabolized, it will get broken down and then stored as body fat, right? So it's essentially just stored as energy.
Right.
All nutrients get broken down and stored as fat if your body can't utilize it. Your body can't utilize alcohol, right?
Right.
It doesn't have a purpose.
Right.
It's a toxin to our body. So like carbohydrates will get stored in muscle.
Yeah.
If all of those storage sites in muscle are full, then it gets stored as fat.
Right.
Right. Same with protein. If protein isn't utilized, it'll get stored as fat.
Right.
All of these things, right? So, but for alcohol, because there's no use, that's directly what it's doing. I would say
there's no real nutritional benefit.
Zero nutritional benefit.
So the body doesn't have a purpose for it.
There's
so
no
it just
purpose.
Stores it.
It's a toxin.
But there's still calories.
Correct.
So it has to do something with the calories.
So it has to store them.
So it stores it.
Yeah. So to be clear, like our fat cells are storage sites for energy. Our body, once it breaks down the alcohol, will store those excess calories as energy because it has nothing to do with it, right? So that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So you're directly impairing your ability to lose body fat by drinking alcohol, like obviously, right?
So that makes sense. So I know people have most people probably don't think of that at all when it comes to like how alcohol affects their ability or their weight.
I think so. I think they peripherally know, it's probably not good for me, but it directly impairs the ability to do that for sure.
Right. Also, is that, and again, maybe putting you on the spot, I was just thinking, because you hear of like fatty liver and things like that. Like when you hear about people who have alcohol problems, right? They often will start to present with
fatty liver disease.
Yeah, like liver disease and fatty liver.
And that can happen from overeating too.
And it can happen from
consistently.
So is alcohol, the fat stored from alcohol, more likely to be visceral fat? Or
I don't think so.
That's not necessarily
that has
true.
more to do with like if you're so just to be clear, so the disease processes in the body is like diabetes, like metabolic disorders, like things like fatty liver disease, like atherosclerosis, like that causes heart attacks, right? That stuff takes decades to go from like no problem, no disease, to full-blown disease. And you normally don't have symptoms of disease until you're like 90% of the way like to full-blown catastrophe, which is the part of the problem with it, which is why you don't notice it. Fatty liver disease comes on usually because of decades of abuse. And abuse isn't what people think. Abuse isn't
it's less.
Being an alcoholic every night. And abuse is just consistently like drinking so that your liver has to then like, do hard work. Your liver regenerates, but if you're constantly like abusing it and overusing it, it can develop fatty liver disease in conjunction with metabolic disorders. And so that also happens when you overeat like calories in general. Your body, it has to work too hard. Your liver starts to break down, and then now it becomes a problem. It becomes fibrotic, and then you start to actually do real damage to the tissue.
Right.
Yeah. So alcohol is certainly like
and metabolic disorders would be Give me an example of that.
Things like insulin resistance.
Yeah.
Which we don't need to dive super deep
like
into.
Getting into like pre-diabetes, diabetes.
It's your body's inability to process carbohydrates that get broken down. Again, this is something that if it's not type 1, it can develop over many decades.
Right.
And then your body just now you start to have this insulin resistance. You can't process carbohydrates or use processed carbohydrates in the same way. You start to develop visceral fat, which is fat that's under the abs, right inside the organs. Now your stomach starts to push up. These are all signs of disease that have been happening most likely for a long time.
Right. Okay. Good.
And this is why they don't usually develop in people until you're talking about 40s, 50s. I mean, they can in your 30s. It just depends on how abusive you are.
Right. Okay. So good. So let's moving on then away from the way our body metabolizes it into some of the other effects that I think people maybe don't realize. I'd like to talk about sleep.
And how the alcohol's effect on sleep?
Yeah, because I think people don't realize because most alcohol is consumed in the evening.
Bed,
right before bed usually, or at least dinner or later, right, for the most part. And I think people don't realize how long alcohol stays in their body and how long it can continue to have an effect on your ability to achieve really good, deep REM sleep. And so I think that's a good conversation to have, and how that then will affect your ability to achieve, your health goals, right?
Yeah. So maybe break it down what it would look like if someone had, let's say, 4 drinks before the end of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say you
typical, I have a beer with dinner, maybe have one watching the game.
Let's say you had 3 beers over the course of 2 hours from 6 to 8, and then you went to bed at 9. Well, those beers are still being metabolized by your liver and being broken down and still having the effects on your brain and your sleep centers of your brain. So maybe you pass out better. So it seems like you get good sleep, right?
That's superficial, you just pass out.
You just pass out instead of laying in bed?
Yeah.
So I think this is why people think, alcohol helps me go to bed?
Yeah.
But then what really happens is now you have these sleep cycles where you start with light sleep, and then you go into deeper sleep, and then you go into REM sleep, and then you kind of cycle back out of it, and then do it again. So it goes in a wave like this. And so that cycle usually takes around 4 hours, 4-ish hours.
Yeah.
That's why you need about 8 hours. Right. Because you need to go through these 2 cycles, right?
Cycles, yeah.
And so alcohol directly impairs the amount of time that you are in deep and REM sleep, and those are your restorative sleep phases.
Yeah.
So if you get half, which is normal if your brain is affected by alcohol, then you literally get half the restoration that you may need. So you may have slept 8 hours.
Yeah.
You probably got up a couple times because you have to pee, because when you drink, your body's trying to purge the toxin. How does that happen? Well, it pulls water and it's going to put that into your bladder and you're trying to pee it out. So maybe you have to get up now you've disrupted your sleep because your body's woken you up, but also you didn't get as much restorative sleep, so you probably got 8 hours of sleep, but you feel like shit when you wake up and you're oh my God. But it's because you didn't get good sleep.
Yeah, you don't feel rested at all. Yeah, you had really poor sleep. So.
And so then when chronically this is done over time, it's the exact opposite of I exercise regularly, I'm doing something good for my body. You're chronically undersleeping. That is one of the most important components of health in terms of just restoration, improving from the day before. When you work out the day before and then you go to bed, that's when your body repairs the damage that you've done from the workout or the training, whatever it is. Yeah. If you're chronically getting less sleep than you should, then you're literally just not repairing as much as what your body needs. So you're chronically you're overusing it, right?
And you're just generally in a state of inflammation, because your body's not getting...
It's not getting the rest and recovery.
Including your brain.
Including your hormone system,
right?
including metabolism.
Right.
All of the systems in your body require this sleep. And so you, over the years, through chronically undersleeping, are just so much worse feeling than if you did get good sleep.
Right.
And the problem is we all have our own baseline of how we function in the world. And so for people who chronically undersleep, and if alcohol is a component of it, it's hard to know how much better you could feel if you got real good sleep.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest changes to make right away is either become a day drinker so that it gets out of your body, or just you got to stop and you got to really focus on what's your sleep routine, when am I going to bed, how much sleep am I getting, making sure I'm not over drinking water and or alcohol before I go to bed so I can actually get that restoration. Right. That's the one biggest change if you were to do anything for your overall health and wellness today.
I think in that book, I think it was called Why We Sleep. I think you and I have talked about it before. I think Matthew Walker wrote the book, and he's a professor, and he would often tell his college students, please, if you're going to drink, day drink. Please leave class, right now, and go drink, and then be done with it by, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
and let it get out of your system so that you can actually sleep well.
Yeah, because it generally stays in your system for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
It takes about 4 hours for your liver to metabolize it.
Yeah.
So that's about right. So 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 7. So basically by the time like 8 or 9 rolls around, if that's the time you go to bed,
Yeah.
and it's out of your system, you should be okay.
Be able to sleep.
It's still like you're still poisoning yourself during the day,
Yeah.
but at least you're going to get okay sleep,
You get better
right?
sleep. Yeah.
Yes.
What about effects hormonally when it comes to the combination of those two? So I'm not sure if alcohol has a direct effect on hormones, but certainly lack of sleep would.
So it's both. They both do.
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert in this area,
Yeah.
but I'm
an expert in nothing.
Sweet.
It doesn't stop us from having a podcast.
That's right. We'll still. Here's our opinions.
Yeah, these are our opinions.
So I do
we
know
put a
this.
disclaimer.
I do know this one thing, okay, about both sleep and alcohol that both have an effect on testosterone production in men. That if you are chronically drinking, like on a consistent basis, again, this doesn't mean you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It means you have like multiple drinks a few days a week, right? Then you will absolutely have lower testosterone than if you did not.
Yeah.
And then if you get chronically lack of sleep, the same thing will be the case when you combine two of those things, combined with all of the environmental factors that I'm not an expert on that are also like reducing our overall hormone production.
Yeah.
You just simply will have less testosterone. This is not a lesson on testosterone, but that is a vital hormone to allow us to function in the world the way that we should, right, for both men and women. And so you're just functioning less optimally from even that just one factor,
Right.
by chronically drinking and not getting.
And from a weight loss perspective, it would for sure have an effect. I think my understanding of testosterone, men who have lower testosterone are more likely to hold on to body fat or to gain body fat. That's like one of the things that happens as we get older.
The reason that they're more likely to gain body fat is because they'll lose muscle.
Right.
Right. So let's say the scale stays the same.
Yeah.
But over the years, your testosterone has dropped.
Yeah.
But you still weigh 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Over 10 years, you've lost 10 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
That means that you would have put on 10 pounds of body fat if the scale stayed the same.
Sure.
Testosterone has a direct effect on how much muscle mass you get to hold on to. It's a huge part of the reason why men in general have way more muscle mass than women.
Yeah.
We just have way more testosterone, right? So as a man, you have way less testosterone than you should. That's 100% going to factor into how much body fat you hold.
Right. So if I was like let's, for instance, say a male in their 40s,
Yes.
almost 50,
Late 40s?
were to spend a decade, basically drinking a couple of beers before bed every single night, getting really poor sleep, over the course of 10 years, at a time when my testosterone or this said person's testosterone was already probably starting to decline a little bit.
Yeah, because it tends to happen in like your mid-30s and so
the likelihood that I'm probably, like changing my body composition for the negative, gaining more fat, and
it definitely has.
is definitely,
definitely.
like, and it might happen a little bit anyway, but take away the exercise piece. But if I'm adding lack of sleep and alcohol to it, it
definitely accelerates that process.
It's gonna accelerate.
Yeah.
So what about cortisol? Is that? I mean, I don't really know, but I would think that if you're not sleeping well, you're gonna have elevated levels of cortisol. And is cortisol tied to?
Think about cortisol as like it's a stress hormone that was supposed to be used in our bodies for like the fight or flight response, like moments of acute stress when it helps us a lot. It actually helps focus, right? But when you're bathed in it all the time because of all these micro stressors that like modern society puts on us, and then just like most things when done in excess causes like damage and problems.
Is there a role of cortisol in like body fat?
Yeah, so chronic cortisol production, which unfortunately many of us have, and stress comes from many sources. So if we have lots of stressors in our life, we can have like cortisol disorders, is associated with increased visceral fat.
Yeah. So if you combine then, so let's just go back to the alcohol and the relation. So alcohol, lack of sleep, overall general increased stress, higher cortisol, higher organ fat. Visceral fat is organ fat.
Yeah, and so this is why. So this is why, right? In our health coaching program here, we focus on eating real food, getting good sleep, right? Getting good exercise and movement, and stress management. Like we just kind of peripherally talked about these things.
Right.
These are all the big drivers of health and how we feel in our body and our mind every day.
Yep.
So if we can strategize on some of these things, it makes such an amazing inroad into your mental health and physical health.
Right. I think one other area I want to touch on before we wrap up would be, you alluded to it earlier, is sort of we tend to make poor decisions when we're drinking alcohol in many ways, right?
Besides just food.
But one of the major ways would be the eating, right? Like we made, like, I remember, back in college, it was, go out drinking and then it's 2 a.m. pizza, or Chinese food or, whatever bad, short of
Not even just
you're not usually having like a late night salad.
Yes.
Let's just say it like that.
Especially when you're drinking.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I'd say like for even people like you and I, right, like our clients, like health conscious adults, like they want to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like they're working on their physical and mental health, but then they do things like, well, I'm eating right, I'm trying to get enough sleep, I'm exercising, why can't I have this thing, right?
Yeah.
And so usually alcohol.
Yeah.
And then so like you have all these motivations and you have all these like plans and you're gonna be disciplined to do the thing. Alcohol clearly makes you less disciplined, it clearly makes you more impulsive. You're more likely to fall back on some of the behaviors that you'd rather not do when you are drinking, obviously, right? We all do that. So even if you have the best intentions, unintentionally, you will fall back on some of these negative, like poor choices from a food perspective when you are drinking.
Right. Which obviously doesn't help you with like,
which doesn't help the long-term
long-term
process.
Going back to your example in the beginning, which is like if you're adding a few hundred calories every night of just the alcohol, and then you throw on top of it some, whatever Doritos and a pizza, like now you're talking 1,000 calories or more multiple times a week.
Yeah, it's just. But then if you're also somebody who's trying to make a change, and you're doing a really good job in making like most of the days of the week, you're eating breakfast, you're eating your snacks, you're eating lunch, all the stuff is planned. And then you don't even know you're accidentally sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, you're just totally sabotaging yourself.
By accident. You don't really understand the implications of it.
Right.
And I sympathize with people that like I get it. Like I totally get it. And but it's on a continuum. Like maybe it's not 4 nights a week. Maybe it's not 2 nights a week. Maybe it's only on social occasions. Like maybe 2 times a month.
Like perhaps Friday night pizza night.
Maybe every other Friday.
Every other Friday.
I don't know. But just, I guess on my
if I got one Domino's pizza and cut it into like 20th so that like 6 people could have it.
So everyone,
So lame, just have a taste.
Every half an hour you take a little taste. That's right.
So
I guess the point is it's like, you don't have to say, I'm never going to have a drink again. If you're the type of person, that's awesome, good for you. But maybe it's something like I cut it down dramatically or I put these rules around when I can have it because I know how much this has an implication on my overall health and wellness. And if you're somebody that cares about that, you should really consider this as something that you strategize around.
Right. And I know I said the last thing, but I guess one more thing is like, I think just like any other marketing that takes place like in the food world, the alcohol people have done the same thing. And so they're trying to like market these like drinks that basically say like low calorie or whatever.
Mega light or whatever.
Yeah, like ultra light and blah, blah, blah. And like, sure, you might have less calories. Like, okay, but you still have what's in it, which is going to create bloat and whatever. You still have all of the things we just talked about, the other negative effects of alcohol that will affect your ability to like be healthy, lose weight, etc. So you're still going to have all of those other things, right? And so in general, if you can cut way back and just kind of have it maybe 1 night a week or something like that, or every other week, that would be a much
treat it like you do your plans for your food, sleep, physical activity. Just have it be the same thing. You have to have a plan for it too. Okay,
awesome. Well, great, thank you. I know I put you on the spot with that. You weren't prepared at all.
No, that was good.
But you seem to know what you're talking about.
Thanks.
I hope.
I think so too.
I mean, I would run that through Google if I were all these people.
Fact-check
just make sure. Just fact check the shit out of that because we may have made that all up. I don't know. How did you sleep last night?
I slept good.
Did you have any alcohol?
Nope.
All right, then good. We should be good. That should all be true.
I even slept with a mouth guard so I didn't snore.
Oh, wow. Is Stacy making you do that?
I need one of those because I got this big, thick neck.
Yeah, your stupid neck.
My stupid neck. So I got to wear mouth guards to my neck.
Maybe work out less. Anyway, all right. With that, that's the end of the show.